Kansas City! What a huge week it is for us. Can you feel the excitement in the air? The AFC Championship game coming up this weekend at Arrowhead Stadium. And this week on the Downtown Dish, your trusty host and Chiefs fan, Katy Schamberger, I have got all the scoop for you on downtown food and drink carryout and so much other stuff to get you prepared to safely watch the Chiefs game at home. This week on the Dish, we are going to hear from Rachel Waller, Director of Marketing at the Kansas City Power and Light District. We are going to introduce you to some ideas because you probably think of going to Power and Light for your watch parties, etc. But they have some really cool carryout options and also some other places where you can get prepped for game day at home. So we're going to give you the scoop there. And I'm so excited to also welcome Jen Dancer, who is a downtown resident, my dear friend, an educator, and a Bubbles aficionado. We are going to talk over kind of what we're thinking for our carryout strategy this weekend. She and I are going to reminisce about hanging out last year for the Super Bowl parade. We did have a sleepover. There were some shenanigans. It was a good time. So, get that Chiefs gear ready, and let's dive in to some home gating info. Kansas City, we are getting ready for the AFC Championship game coming to Arrowhead this Sunday, and I am so delighted to welcome back to the Downtown Dish Rachel Waller, Director of Marketing for the Power and Light District. Rachel, how are you?
I'm doing well. Super excited about the Chiefs and what's going on this weekend. How are you, Katy?
I am so excited. I am starting to place my carry-out food and drink orders. I'm getting ready for Sunday. And I'm so excited that you're here, Rachel, because I know that I, especially Power and Light, is just a cornerstone in a lot of my great Kansas City memories, especially sports related. But I love how you guys can shift gears a little bit this year, maybe for people who are wanting to do something besides, kind of that group watch party out in the open. Power and Light can really be a destination for the carryout and for the game prep. So let's start with food, because I know several of the restaurants have some really great carryout packages going on, right?
They do. It's been really fun to see the restaurants and bars and shops in the Power and Light District kind of pivot and do different things this year. Everyone's getting super creative, and we've been really excited to put that out on social media, which is one of the best places to find these great things that all the venues are doing. But as far as food goes and beverages, a lot of the restaurants are doing to-go packages that are tailgate themed, game day themed. McFadden's Sports Saloon has a great package that includes, the traditional like game day fare wings and chicken fingers and things like that, pizzas. And then Yard House also has one as well, and both of those include beer. So you gotta have the spirits in order to have a great game day experience.
I do. I need it all. And you were telling me this is so cool. Talk about some food that people might not expect to enjoy while watching a football game. What's going on over at Drunken Fish?
Well, if you're a sushi fan, there's so many things, right? Me too. There's so many things you can do with sushi. And when it comes to football, who wouldn't love to treat themselves to a sushi platter shaped like a football? So get those sushi platters at Drunken Fish. They have some of the best sushi in Kansas City. They're super creative with the way they put things together too. You can also take it home and do it yourself and set it out and just treat yourself or treat your guests to something different for this game day.
I love that. And Rachel, we've got downtown resident Jen Dancer also on the show with us this week. She and I had a great adventure last year for the Super Bowl parade. So there's definitely a lot of missing some of the kind of the big group watch parties, city coming together. But of course, safety first, and appreciate all of the businesses there in the Power and Light District for for putting safety first, and like you said, being so creative with these options. And I love it too because we've got food and drink options. But Rachel, let's talk too about kind of the game day like look. You know, we've got several stops in the district for that side of things.
That's right. You know, I think all of our venues and restaurants and shops, you know, they're really just trying to find ways to connect with their customers during this time. And they're all safe to visit if you choose to come in, whether you choose to get your hair done or your nails done or you go to eat at a restaurant. But they've also been wanting to do some really cool things to keep that connection with their guests during this time. But Posh Blow Dry Bar in the Power and Light District, they've got some great specials to get you ready for game day. Okay. They're doing braids for $20. They also have a free makeup application if you purchase red lipstick, which is kind of something different and fun.
Yes.
I mean, everyone needs red lipstick, right?
I do.
Plus, I know, you know, if you want to get your nails done, you can do the red and the gold nails. They've got sparkle nail polish over at Polish Nail Salon, which is right next door to Posh KC. Both of those venues are taking temperature checks, and they are monitoring and keeping track of the number of people who are in there at a time.
Great.
So you really want to make a reservation if you're going to go to any of the lifestyle venues in the district to make sure you have a spot, and then also just for social distancing and safety.
Love that. And, you know, if people, I mean, I think we always need more Chiefs apparel and accessories. I was about to say I don't need it, but I do. Let's not forget the incredible Rally House is right there in the heart of the district. Perfect for game day apparel, Chiefs masks, all kinds of stuff.
That's right. I've got mine right here.
Yes.
But since I'm in my office, there's no one around, so I took it off.
Oh, yeah. You're all good.
I will say what's so great, ever since Rally House moved downtown a couple years ago, it has been the destination for downtown workers and residents to get their Chiefs stuff. You know, they don't have to drive out to the suburbs to get all their Chiefs stuff. Plus, they're not as busy as I think some of the suburb ones, so you can usually find a lot of items here. They've got jerseys, koozies, masks, all kinds of spirit gear. They've actually got really cool T-shirts this week. Kansas City versus Buffalo, so very specific to this game for the AFC Championship. So definitely check them out. They're over there by Two Light, just south of KC Live, across from the T-Mobile Center. So it's just a really great spot, a beautiful space, and they have tons and tons of Chiefs gear. So it's a great spot to get all that.
Well, and Rachel, it's been a minute since I popped into the downtown location, but I was talking with some people about the plaza location because I did go in there in the holidays, and I had noticed that they had made some changes in terms of shifting the point of sale up to the front of the store. There was plexiglass involved. So I can only imagine that similar parameters are in place there at the downtown store too. But it seems like they are, of course, like everybody, very safety minded.
They are, for sure. And in fact, they even do curbside pickup. So if you want to order, call ahead and order online, and then curbside pickup, you can pull right up on Grand Boulevard, right outside their store, and they'll bring it out to you.
Rachel, I'm gonna
There you go.
Are we gonna do you think curbside's gonna be a thing?
I do.
Post-pandemic, because I mean, the convenience.
The convenience is there. You know, all of our restaurants are doing it now too. You can pull right outside. There's dedicated signage and parking spots for you to pick up your to-go. And I think it's going to be around to stay because people like convenience. And you know, a lot of the restaurants they're doing delivery as well, but you know, as you're probably aware, you know, the delivery services, they take a huge chunk of the restaurant's profit.
They do.
So if you really want to support neighborhood businesses and restaurants, you definitely want to try to order directly from them and do curbside pickup. So a lot of them are doing curbside pickup now. That way, you know, you can support them in the best means possible. Absolutely.
That is a great reminder. And I love this. So I'm doing a live check here of the weather this weekend. Not bad for late January. We're in the low to mid 40s. So here's another idea, friends. And Rachel, like you said, we got to just, lots of people might opt to stay home to watch the game, and that's perfectly fine. I'm doing that. I'm excited. But make a weekend of it. Make a thing of it. Maybe you could go out on Saturday, for example, and get something from Rally House or get that manicure. And Rachel, something that I didn't think of, and I'm so glad you mentioned, is there is some beautiful Chiefs-themed murals that have popped up throughout Power and Light District. What's going on there?
Yeah, you know, the Chiefs have done something fun just across the whole city, and the Power and Light District is excited to be home to a couple of the murals that local artists have done, celebrating the big milestones for Kansas City Chiefs. Last year, we worked with local artist Alexander Austin to do a Super Bowl mural. And what was really cool about that one is that he did it, and then after they won the Super Bowl, he came back and added in the trophy. And so there's part of it is Andy Reid kissing the Super Bowl trophy in that mural.
Love it.
And it's so cool because people will come, they'll get their selfies in front of it, they high five Andy Reid. I mean, it's a really cool piece. It's on Grand Boulevard, right outside of McFadden's. So you can pull right up there, take your selfie, and it's just right there. It's a beautiful piece. It was front and center for the Super Bowl parade last year. So we love seeing it on social media. And Alexander Austin is a local artist whom is dear to our heart. We've done several murals with him throughout the Power and Light District that have become very popular, and people all over the country have recognized and know. So that one is particularly really fun. And then for Red Friday this year, we worked with the Chiefs and local artist JT Daniels, who we also love.
JT, yep.
Yes. And he did one. And what's kind of crazy about it is it's high off the ground. So it's very elevated, but you can get selfies from different angles, both out on the sidewalk, or you can go into the KC Live block up on the catwalk and get a more up close photo with this mural. But
on the catwalk, yes,
fun, yeah. And that one was put in here at Red Friday at the beginning of this season. So a couple different mural options for the Chiefs in the Power and Light District, and it's great to see people come down throughout the week leading up to the games. We had a lot of people come down last week. Go for a walk. You know, it's beautiful out most days. You know, we've been getting a couple days each week that are in the mid-50s, right?
Yes.
So it's been beautiful. People get out, take a nice little walk, and get some selfies.
I love that. And I remember, you know, I did that last year, walked through Power Light just to kind of see the Chiefs' energy start to build. Of course, really cool lighted signs continuing down at Union Station. But it really is, like, for people that are like, what, do I need a selfie? It really is fun because it is this snapshot in time. I think we really do have a historic team right now with the Chiefs. And it's just cool to be out and to capture these moments, especially because so many of us can't maybe be in our large groups like we would like to be, but there's so much to celebrate and there's so much to still do. And it's so cool, Rachel, hearing all the options right there in the Power and Light District.
Well, we hope everybody gets a chance to come down to our neighborhood this weekend and celebrate the Chiefs. And when they win, prior to Super Bowl, we'll have a couple weeks to really add in some more fun layers and get people excited for the Super Bowl. So lots more to do here in the Power and Light District.
Okay, so you save some time in your calendar because we're going to need you to come back. We're going to need you to update us because that's going to be a whole nother episode. But I'm so excited. But Rachel, thank you as always for your time. Of course.
Thanks for having me.
Come back and see us. And go Chiefs.
Katy. That's right. Go Chiefs.
Only God knows all the demons.
Okay, so we are getting you ready this week on the Downtown Dish for that AFC Championship game, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. And we are dropping food and drink recommendations all throughout the episode, but wanted to add a few more possibilities as you're kind of starting to plan your menu. it really is not going to be super cold on Sunday. So we are thinking you might want to fire up the grill. You know that you can go see our friends at Local Pig. We talked to them back when we did that first home gating episode when Chiefs season started, but they have whole chicken wings that are ready to go. You can throw them on the grill, throw them in the smoker, whatever you want to do. Have those delicious wings. I'm thinking that we here in Kansas City can make way better wings than in Buffalo, but yeah, I said it. Fun news from our friends at Tomstown. In celebration of the game this weekend, they have re-released their Machine Number 7 Gridiron Whiskey. So if that's sounding good, you can place an order with them and go pick that up this weekend. Made in KC is another option that maybe you're not thinking of. And they've got the trolley cafe there in the River Market. They've got the larger cafe there kind of right in the heart of downtown. But they do have all kinds of fun things: apparel, glassware, local snacks. They've got some local spirits and sauces. So if you're looking for those fun touches to really take your home watch party up a notch, definitely check out Made in KC. And stay tuned, we're going to keep bringing you recommendations throughout this episode of The Downtown Dish.
Jump in the arena. Jump in the arena.
It is a momentous week here in Kansas City. We've got the inauguration happening, and we have the Chiefs hosting the AFC Championship game this Sunday at Arrowhead. You know, here on the Downtown Dish, we got to talk about what are we eating and what are we drinking for the game. And to do that, I am so delighted to welcome a dear friend and supporter of the Downtown Dish, gin dancer, educator, downtown resident, Bubbles aficionado. Jen, welcome to the show.
Oh, Katie, thank you for having me.
This is so cool because you have been a supporter from day one, and now you're on the show, and I feel like life is full circle. It's making me
I'm on the
happy.
show.
You're on the show. You're on the show. So let's talk about what we're going to eat on Sunday when the Chiefs play the Bills. Anything sounding good to you right now?
Everything. You know, I am kind of a tailgate football food traditionalist, so I kind of stick with the pizza, wings, barbecue, all of the dips, queso, rotel, artichoke dip, any of the dips, all of the dips, I'm in.
You know what I had forgotten that I made? I used to work years ago. I worked full-time at the Star, and we did some epic monthly potlucks where, you know, a couple people would host each month and we'd take turns. And I forgot that I would get little Smokies. I get some bacon, cut the bacon into thirds, wrap a third of bacon around the little Smoky, shove a toothpick in it, line those babies up on foil on a baking sheet, cover them with brown sugar in the oven for, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just kind of watch till the bacon gets crisp and the sugar's all melted. I was like, oh, I might need those. Yes,
seriously. That sounds amazing. Have you tried the candied bacon? Have you ever made candied bacon?
Is it like when you use syrup?
Or brown sugar?
Okay. I've had at First Watch, which, oh gosh, I miss that place a lot. They have the $1 Million Bacon where it's like caramelized, but then they add a little something spicy. So you get the sweet and the spicy.
Oh, that'd be nice. I wonder if like maybe some cayenne or some sort. Yeah, I mean, it's super easy to make. You just, you know, cover your bacon with the sugar and throw it in the oven. I mean, that is so good. So I can see that, like doing that with the little Smokies to give it that little sweet, you know, instead of the barbecue sauce that sometimes is a little bit sweet, like that would be phenomenal.
Yes.
I'm guessing.
I like to stuff lots of food and alcohol into my face when I'm watching professional athletes.
I, I do too. I
This
mean,
makes me happy. Well, I want to tell you because this just hit my inbox, and I'm thinking this might be the way that I go. And I'm thinking this is going to hit your tailgate traditionalist viewpoint. So,
uh-huh.
our friends over at Epic Burger, they will be offering delivery all weekend, including on game day. Of course, they've got those epic burgers, grilled cheese stuff. But just today, I found out they are going to offer an epic munchies box for $19, which I'm just wrapping my head around. This is such a good deal. It's a whole sampler platter, mozzarella sticks, sliders, fried pickles, onion rings, buffalo chicken strips, and mini quesadillas with, to your point, all the sauces, all the dips for $19, and you can get that delivered.
That's like 6 different things. That's amazing. Sign me up. Sign me up for all the fried pickles. I love fried pickles
Fried
with a
pickles.
beer, watching the game. Like that's the best combination, right? Fried pickles and beer.
Yes.
Or am I a huge beer girl?
Well, and that reminds me, because we're kind of beer twinsies. We like the sour beers,
Yes.
which I
Yeah.
can feel people out there making faces. Whatever. Sour beer is delicious.
It is.
Do you have like a favorite beer that you like to drink during games?
My favorite sour lately, oh my gosh, it's the Coyote. I don't know. I want to say it's like a Coyote Classic.
Okay.
Crap. I'm gonna have to look now. But Border Brewing did a collaboration with our beloved Pairing.
That's right.
And did their own beer, Coyote Crossing, and it is so good. It's a little bit tart, a little bit sour, but it's so yummy. Now I probably would not pair that with the fried pickles,
Okay.
but that's kind of been my go-to beer lately.
That sounds so good. And I haven't had, it's kind of funny. I am finding that I tend to like beer a little more in warmer weather. And then in the colder months, of course, wine, bubbles,
Right.
always bubbles.
Always
And
bubbles.
then the cocktails.
Yeah, I mean, cocktails always, bubbles always. I've found that like I've almost been the opposite. Like that lately, I've been craving like a good sour beer.
Hmm. I mean, they
Yeah,
are so good. And I
yeah.
mean, good Lord, no shortage of beer
No,
options this
no.
weekend downtown. You could see our friends at the Pairing. Of course, we have so many incredible breweries there, Jen, by you and the Crossroads, and throughout, down to Strange Days. I know we had picked up some Strange Days back when we did our first home gating episode to kick off Chiefs season.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy that now we're in the playoffs.
It's so weird.
One game to get to the game. Oh,
Yeah.
Calm, be calm.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so great. Here's another thing that's on my list. Speaking of cocktails, so our friends at J. Rieger, they have a really cool thing going on. They have a tailgate package, but they're giving you some options. They've made a bottled cocktail just for the playoffs that I don't normally drink whiskey, but I think they're going to change my mind because it's whiskey, apricot, and tart cherry soda, and they're calling it Red Kingdom.
So that sounds amazing.
Mhm.
Definitely the tart cherry soda. I mean, that's totally up my alley. I'm also not a huge whiskey drinker.
Yeah.
Probably because I've never really taken the time to like taste whiskey, right? Like I kind of have my go-tos and I haven't really been indoctrinated into that whiskey culture that I probably would be able to appreciate. But that sounds amazing.
I think I'm gonna go get at least a bottle of that. They've got a food platter that also sounds incredible that I'm trying to recall. I know there's like I want to say there's a white bean chili involved, and maybe some kind of dip, I think, and then an order of their boozy cinnamon rolls.
Never had.
I know, me neither. And I'm like, I love booze and I love cinnamon rolls.
Right? Booze and pastry.
Put them together.
What else could you ask for?
Jen, you know when we could have used those boozy cinnamon rolls, and a reason that I wanted to have you, especially here this week, to talk about Chiefs prep, because we had one of the best adventures of my life last year when you so kindly opened your door to me the night before the Super Bowl parade, and we just, girl, we had a time.
We had a time.
What did we do? The night before, there was activities involved.
Yeah. So Cellaret just coincidentally had perfect timing, right? Cellaret had one of their tastings. And so we walked over there and we hit up the tasting at the Cellaret. It was great. I highly recommend, they have like tons of different packages. Like if you want to do a monthly wine tasting, you can like sign up and like taste the case. Super awesome deal. They have different guest winemakers all of the time. I met Kim Crawford.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. But they have, it was great. So we started there, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna shout you out as a fangirl of Chef Tio, because then I believe we went to the Belfry.
We did go to the Belfry.
And Chef Tio was there. So we had a few cocktails there, and you got to meet Chef Tio. That was fantastic.
Oh my God, I was so excited. And she was just like, no, she was so nice. But I'm sure in her head, she's like, girl, you need to chill. I think I told her about that when I had her on the show a couple months ago. She was very gracious.
Yeah, she's great. I'm sure it happens. She's
a rock star.
She is. Like she's a national celebrity. Like I'm sure she's used to it. So
come on.
Yeah, that was great. What a night, what a day, what a 48 hours, right? That was amazing.
But, I want to emphasize, and we've talked about this so much, Jen, we talked about this at Thanksgiving. We talked about it when the Chiefs season kicked off, right? And we were like, embrace this concept of home gating. As much as you and I want to be together, as much as so many of us want to be together, we've got to make it through this last push. Numbers are still high. There's scary news about some of these coronavirus variants coming out. It's just not worth it. But that's no reason that you can't make a party of it at home.
Absolutely not. There's
yourself, with your partner, with your family, whatever. But do it up.
Yeah, there's so many options and different ways to make it feel like you're not alone, whether that's texting or calling your friends throughout the entire game, or I don't know, maybe sending a text saying, Katy, maybe light that Mahomes candle now. We might need the candle.
We did. Oh, girl.
But so many different places. Like I love Buffalo State Pizza. They have tremendous pizza, and you can just call the day of the game and ask what their specials are, and they will hook you up. I went one time last year during the playoff games. I just called and asked what their specials were. And I'm going to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention because I didn't care. I just needed to get pizza.
Right.
So we rattled it off and I said, great, here's my credit card. I went and picked it up, and literally, Katy, I could barely put the pizza in the back seat of my car. It was huge.
Family size.
Seriously. I had to like tilt it to like put it in my car. We had pizza for days, but I did learn that pizza freezes well. So
I can freeze pizza?
Yes.
I have to say, leftover pizza doesn't normally last long in this household.
But if it's like pizza for 40 people. Yeah, no, I just wrap it in foil and then put it in a plastic bag and throw it in the freezer. And then the next time you don't want to cook or, whatever, you just grab it, throw it. Like I like to put mine in the oven. I'm not a huge like microwave pizza leftover person, but throw it in the oven or on a skillet and it's perfect. Yeah, pizza freezes beautifully.
Real talk. Me and you out there, okay? if you're heating up your pizza in the microwave, I can't even with you. Put that in the oven. Get that crust crispy.
Yes.
I like most pizzas average. We get a lot of Minskys around these parts.
Yes.
400 degrees, 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes.
Maybe put a little olive oil on the bottom of the pan even to.
Here's another thing I'm going to make people real mad. I think cold pizza is disgusting.
Oh, I'm with you. Like, I'd rather not even eat it.
No.
No.
I am a stickler for food
Throw it in the oven.
being eaten at the temperature at which it was meant to be served.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it's
Right.
supposed to be served hot, I need to eat it hot.
I'm with you.
But I
hope we didn't.
digress.
I hope we didn't.
I think I just saw some people like drop off the feed and they're like,
Sorry.
You know, it's okay. But I am excited for the game. I'm so excited to see what's going to happen. Obviously, last year was just incredible. I was very fortunate. I was able to go back to my hometown of Columbia, MIZ, and watch the Super Bowl with my dad, who had raised me as a Chiefs fan. So that was honestly one of my lifetime like bucket list goals, was for the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl and for us to watch together. And it was tremendous. And I think you had a really fun experience watching the Super Bowl last year.
I did, Katie, and it's very unsuspecting, but I watched at the pairing just because I know it is one of my favorite places. There were probably about 20, 25 people there, so you could still hear who you were talking to if that is of interest to you while you're watching a game, if you still want to have some side conversation that is audible. So I went there. Bubbles all night long. There was queso, so I was thrilled with that. Henry, who's a bartender, actually makes hummus, like different flavors of hummus, and so that was on display. He brought his hummus.
So good.
Yes, you can buy it there too.
Mm-hmm.
I just, Matt is wonderful, and Jeff, and we opened up. We popped some bubbly to celebrate the win. Something that is important to me. Their restrooms are always like immaculately clean.
They really are. They really are.
Like it's just a safe, fun, welcoming, delicious place. So I was just thrilled that I could watch the game there and be super comfortable, close to home, and not have a headache the next day from, how loud it was. So if you're somebody that can't handle all of that sensory of maybe a bigger bar or an outdoor space, well, I shouldn't recommend it because then it will be packed. But it's a surprisingly great place to watch a game.
Which I love. And it just goes back to the versatility that we've seen and we keep seeing in our restaurant community, our hospitality community, that, they can just kind of transform into a sort of sports bar on a whim. Obviously I love what Strange Days has done, kind of that soccer destination, but, pulling in different events and kind of experimenting for a little while with that outdoor screen and projection. And it's just, it's cool to see all the possibilities kind of unfold. Yeah,
I agree.
Well, let's keep that optimism. So we want to be out at the watch parties, but we want to be safe. So really here at the Dish, again, we emphasize just chill at home, be in your comfy clothes, have the best view on your couch, your TV, but get a lot of food and drink. We're going to be sharing more options throughout this episode, but Jen, I feel like there's hope in the air. You and I coincidentally are talking here just on the heels of the inauguration of President Biden, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. Can we do a little toast?
Can we toast to that?
Yeah, we can toast
I'd
to
love
that.
to.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo. Exciting. It's like cheers and then also like another just like deep breath.
Yes.
Like Yes.
And we know, we watch the news. We know that winter is going to continue to be rough. And again, Jen, you were talking earlier. I mean, that's why we just have to keep supporting our businesses as much as we can while we all stay safe. But I want to channel that optimism and look ahead. And I want to ask you, when it is like we're totally out of the woods, things are back to quote unquote normal, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the first place that you want to dine in? Have you thought about this at all? I kind of think about this a little bit.
I mean, can I have different categories?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody get your bingo cards ready.
Okay, so I love Banksia.
Yes.
Right just north of the library. They have, it's like an Australian bakery. They have some like sandwiches as well, but also a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in and there's like an enormous chandelier that's just beautiful. So I really just miss, I usually make my own coffee, but I really miss just like going there for like a croissant or some sort of pastry and a really nice coffee.
Yep.
I really miss that. I miss that. Okay, so for brunch, Streetcar Cafe.
Yes.
Have you been there for brunch?
I have been there. Streetcar Grill. Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
So unlimited mimosas from like 10:30 to 2.
Speaking my language. Uh-huh.
Yes. And then they have like, it's not a biscuits and gravy, but they have, I think it's like a Gouda stuffed tater tot.
Yes.
And then they put like sausage gravy.
Yes. Is it called? I think it's called the Streetcar Skillet.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is.
And it's like that is what I got. And okay, it sounds heavy, right? You've got cheese stuffed tater tots, and they're like the big ones. You've got gravy, you've got eggs.
And then bacon.
But it was actually like, I really like the portion size.
Yeah.
Like I definitely was full, but I was not like, oh my goodness, I, have to go lay down for 2 hours.
No, it's so rich. I usually don't like biscuits and gravy or sausage gravy. I'm not a huge like gravy fan. This is delicious. I cannot wait to sit there. Jen is always our server. She's fantastic. I cannot wait to sit and have brunch there, have some mimosas. They also are one of the few places around that will let you get a side pancake, because sometimes a girl just wants a pancake on the side and not the full order. And so I like to think that I took credit for that, because I did talk to one of the managers right when they opened and pled my case of sometimes a girl just wants a pancake.
Girl.
So that is like, I cannot wait to have brunch there.
And I'm just going to jump in here real quick, and I want to hear the rest of your categories. But, and obviously, all these places do carry out. So if you're in the mood, do carry out. I know I cannot wait to have you to my neck of the woods for brunch. I miss my beloved friends at Niecy's over on Troost so much. And they have a pancake breakfast that is my perfect breakfast. Scrambled eggs, bacon, one huge, perfectly made pancake. And a few months ago, I got smart and I added a side of their house potatoes. That's one of those really fascinating mix of like crispy roasted potatoes, like fried on the outside, but they're still like real soft on the inside. And there's some onions. I mean, girl.
Like a Tyler Florence potato. That's amazing.
I miss going in there and getting hugs from everybody, and they're just so delightful.
I have not been to Niecy's for like more than years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. And they also do a brisk carry out. So, again, we're definitely, we can all support these restaurants now, but there is something about that in restaurant experience.
There. Yeah.
Oh, I do. You're right. I miss it. What else? What about like dinner?
Okay, so I'm gonna do happy hour first. So I'm just making my way down the streetcar.
Streetcar Donna.
Actually, it's funny because like I'm making my way down the streetcar, but then I'm also progressively I'm going from breakfast, coffee, brunch, happy hour, and then dinner. So happy hour for sure. It's I can't think of the name, Katy.
Uh-oh, girl, I got you.
Michael Smith, help me out. Michael Smith. It's on the corner of Main and
Extra Virgin.
Extra Virgin. I cannot believe I couldn't think of that. My brain has been running full capacity today, obviously. So happy hour. It's been a decade. Happy hour at Extra Virgin for sure. Like yes. I can't take the belly up to the bar there and order some tapas and have again some bubbly or some wine or whatever they may be serving that day. I really miss Extra Virgin. Clearly I miss it so much I can't think of the name.
They have a really incredible cocktail menu that I want to say rotates seasonally, and I have had so many great things there. But of course, wonderful wine list. That is you cannot go wrong for happy hour there.
No. And then finally, my finale. Now this cannot be done all in one day because you're going to feel miserable. But I have said challenge. I've said numerous, and you know that I live right next door to Tannen and that I love Affair. But like I have said more often the last couple of months, I miss Pierpont's. I miss it so much. I just need to be in that beautiful bar, having a martini, maybe some oysters, some raw oysters. Like I love everything. I love walking through Union Station to get there. They have the most gorgeous bar in Kansas City. Service is always impeccable. Yes. Now they have a really good happy hour special too. If you want a really good steak at a great price. Pierpont's is awesome for that. They also have their Sunday happy hour is phenomenal as well.
I like a Sunday fun day.
Yes, it is just, it's fantastic. I really, that will be the first place that I have a really nice dinner.
I'll join you because I don't, sometimes I go through periods where I miss steak because, I am married to a vegetarian and he does not begrudge. I can eat whatever, but when we're talking especially about mostly cooking a meal, sometimes impractical for me to make a whole steak for myself and something else entirely for him. So I miss like specifically the steakhouse experience, Pierpont's, the Majestic, Stock Hill.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like
I'm the same way. While I can certainly eat an entire steak, I just don't cook steak for myself.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I've kind of got the technique down, but to me, it's just the restaurant. And, I do also miss kind of, not all the time, but here and then, getting dressed up a little bit, got just some.
Having someone else make your cocktail. Having someone else make, right?
Well, know about me and my happy hour, I'm hopeful that this year I have an August birthday. I want to do a downtown Kansas City hotel bar crawl. So just hit the hotel bars.
I love that. And that's on one of my lists of places to try because Bar Stillwell. I have not been able to. That opened in the middle of the good for them. Holy cow! I wish them the best of luck. But that's their bar also gorgeous.
Yes.
Haven't been able to enjoy a cocktail.
I hear you. I did the outside one evening in the summer, and we did do a little filming there. So, but yes, to be able to go back and really spend some time in so many of these places, and I love having Jessica Best with us on the dish last week, and she is such, and Jen, I feel like you're the same way. Just have such a great kind of explorer mindset. We've got our tried and true favorites, but then we're also you're always looking for something new to try, very adventurous, very supportive. So you know, that's kind of what I try to do is especially in the rough times like now, is kind of try to look ahead, um, channel as much optimism as I can. But then, of course, in the meantime, we have so much amazing carry out.
Absolutely. And I was so happy and impressed. And also thank you, because I think you were kind of helping push for this, Katy. But so many carry out options for restaurant week. That was phenomenal. Because initially, I'm not sure if just the website wasn't up to speed or if there weren't that many participants, because initially there weren't as many carry out options. And then I looked again, like right before it started, and there were several, too many to choose from. So, I mean, oh my gosh, I had so much carry out last week.
I mean, I can take no credit for that, but yes, I love that, and they were working so hard to get those menus updated, to get the carry out, and like you said, by the time restaurant week actually kicked off, I mean, I want to say there were dozens and dozens, and then some, of restaurants that had carry out. I know I had a great meal at Pirate's Bone. I think you had, I think a few meals, but had Jack Stack as one of them.
Yeah, we did Jack Stack and burnt ends. The barbecue and Crown Center. It was my first time trying that, but I'm telling you, like I ate with my +1 both of those nights, and both of those nights we had leftovers. And we're both pretty big eaters. So they were, I feel like, just the specials. It was great to be able to carry out. And they were very generous, I thought. And, you know, everything that I had was delicious.
Oh, well, I'm so hungry. And I feel like that's a good reminder. I feel like people who are watching and listening to the dish regularly are like, she's still talking about that. Yes, I'm going to be talking about it every week through the end of March. But KC Carryout Challenge is underway. So everybody make sure, I mean, get carry out all week, but definitely get carry out on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Share a picture with us.
I got carry out today. I need to take a picture and post it.
What'd you get?
Bear meat Thai.
Oh.
Yeah. I got some red. I mean, it's my favorite. I can just run in on my way home from work, and their curry is amazing. Can we tell our story about?
We gotta tell our story, girl. Talk about a meal that you will never forget. Right.
So one of the best things I think about eating out, and you kind of alluded to being adventurous, is just asking, you know, you might have your favorites and your go-tos, but we ended up at Bear Me one evening and just had no agenda. And we asked, you know, what would you drink? What would you eat? And I think our server initially recommended something pretty safe.
Pad Thai.
Yeah. And then we pressed her a little bit, and ended up with red curry. It was catfish, wasn't it? It was fish of some
catfish.
Fried catfish. I would have never ordered that. I would have never ordered that.
No, I am a fish snob, and I'm fine to say that. I tend to only like salmon. I never would have even looked twice at this. No. It's got to be top 3 best meals of my life, not just of last year, of my life. And y'all know I eat out constantly.
It was so good. I mean, the curry, and the fish maintained its crispiness, the fried crispiness, even though it was like drenched in the curry. Like it maintained that crispy, delicious. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Just down the street. Like I agree, Katy. It was one of my favorite meals.
I got to go there. And then they got their newer by this point spot there in the River Market that I still need to check out. So I found myself lately very much craving Thai,
spicy and warm.
Spice, Korean, Vietnamese. I really want some pho. I know that our friends at Columbus Park Ramen caused quite a commotion when they introduced a pop-up last week that I think sold out in minutes. So I'm hearing that that's going to be a more regular thing. So if you're missing their ramen, I would say definitely connect with Columbus Park Ramen on social to kind of be in the know. But
yeah, I'm going to have ramen next week.
Jen, we've got some good eating ahead of us, girl.
Me
We'll be
too.
back at the pairing. We're gonna be back, but in the meantime, I'm so glad you can hang out with us. I hope you have a great time watching the Chiefs game. And don't you think, let me just put a plug in. You made a great point about maybe text a friend,
Yeah.
get online. I love Chiefs / Kansas City Twitter.
Yes.
It is so much fun. There, I have met some incredible people, including, well, we met before, way before that, but
Yes. Yeah.
what a fun online community, seeing everybody's commentary, celebrating, commiserating. So if you're on Twitter, definitely look into that kind of, so just, hashtag Chiefs Kingdom,
Yeah.
hashtag Kansas City, whatever.
It's been fun. It's been nice to feel like you're watching the game with your friends, even if you're on your couch by yourself. For
Yes,
sure.
exactly. Yeah, you can put that thought out, and people will respond. It's like, we're having conversations. We want to be having them face to face, but again, safety first now, so we can all get through this. And then, oh my gosh, Downtown Dish, we're going to take it up even more. We're going to hit the road. I mean, we might even throw a couple events in the mix. We got some plans. Jen, thank you so much for being with us. Come back
Katy,
to the dish
thank you
anytime.
for having me. I would love to. I can't wait to see you in person. But thank you for having me, and thank you for what you're doing for the community. It's been a really rough 11 or 12 months, and they need our support more than ever now, and they'll continue to need that for the next couple of weeks. So thank you for being such an advocate of local restaurants and small businesses. You're awesome.
Absolutely. Right back at you, babes. We'll see you soon. Go Chiefs!
Go Chiefs!
Jump in the arena. Jump in the arena.
There's so much happening this week. Well, we gotta talk about KC Carryout Challenge. It's still going on. You can kind of recite it with me at this point, right? Every Wednesday from now until the end of March, all you have to do is go get carryout from a local restaurant, share a picture online, tag us at Downtown Dish KC, use hashtag KC Carryout Challenge. That's all you have to do to be automatically entered to win a $50 gift card to a local restaurant. And I am so excited to announce that this week's winner is Amy Slattery. She is the brains behind Otomo Architecture Firm, and she and her family enjoyed some incredible looking takeout from Grunauer. And I have been in touch with her. She says that they plan to make this a weekly family tradition, and they're excited to try some different restaurants throughout the downtown area. So hopefully you are making this kind of your new winter tradition every Wednesday. And get that carry out. Don't forget about the drinks. I stopped and got some wine this week at Underdog Wine. So many options for beer and wine and spirits and soda. Don't forget about KC Soda Company. They're in the city market for pretty much any. I don't think that you could think of a flavor of soda that they don't have. If you do, definitely tell us about it at Downtown Dish KC, because I don't mind admitting when I'm wrong, but I feel like they have everything. So keep that carryout going. KC Carryout Challenge every Wednesday now through the end of March. What a great way to support local.
Jump in the arena, cheap seats. I cannot see it. Jump in the arena.
Anybody else get like a little nervous before a big football game? But that is going to bring us to a close here on our AFC Championship edition of the Downtown Dish. We hope that you have a wonderful time this weekend. Bust out all that Chiefs gear. I mean, look, I've got earrings from Whiskey and Bone. I've got my local Ease sweatshirt. Of course, Rally House there in the Power and Light District. You can even get that Kansas City versus Buffalo gear. Get your masks, everything. So much food, so many drink options. I have definitely already pre-ordered a bottle of J. Rieger's Red Kingdom cocktail, so I'm definitely going to pick that up, this weekend. You know I'm going to be adding more stuff. So take a picture of your at-home game day spread. Tag us at Downtown Dish KC. However you choose to celebrate, have so much fun. Be safe. Go Chiefs!
Jump in the arena.